At it again, and of course we got to talk about this huge topic of discussion that I'm sure you guys have heard about. It's been everywhere, and of course the left is celebrating and going absolutely wild right now for something that, from my understanding, is relatively minor. But we'll talk more about that in the video. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. Please be aware, I do have a scammer in my comment section too. They've copied my name, my profile picture, and they're trying to get you to go to WhatsApp and Telegram. Please don't be scammed. The only way to donate to me is through the YouTube platform itself via a super thanks, okay? That is the only way to donate to me, is through YouTube via a super thanks. So if you see a profile picture that looks like mine and they're telling you, oh, come over to Telegram or message me on WhatsApp or something, that is not me, okay? That is not me. Just always want to make you guys aware of that, because apparently the scammer situation hasn't been taken care of, and I thought he was gone, but he keeps popping up, so don't want anybody to be scammed out of the money. All right, let's dive in.
That Fox News alert. Former President Trump saying this morning that he will be arrested on Tuesday. Trump said that on Truth Social.
Trump getting arrested.
Quote, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested next week. Protests take our nation back. Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett is here to react.
I even saw a clip on I think it was MSNBC where they were like losing their minds because he said protest. He didn't say violently protest. He didn't say, hey, go, act all wild and crazy. He simply said protest, which we are allowed to do. Protesting isn't, make that bigger. Protesting isn't illegal, okay? But they tried to make it sound like he said, hey, go tear down everything and burn everything. No, that's what the left does. We've seen it. We have the video proof of it. We have evidence of it, okay? That's what the left does every time they protest. I literally just, actually, I don't know if I dropped that video, so I'll save that discussion. But every time the left protests, they tear something apart. They burn something. They destroy something. They take people's property. Okay. So when he said protest, I don't think he meant like go repeat, J6, go run in buildings and whatever else. Like, no, go protest. Go let your voice be heard. Make sure that they know that they shouldn't be doing what it is that they are trying to do. I don't see anything wrong with that. What's wrong with that? The left protests whenever they don't get their way every single time. Every single time. As a matter of fact, you have leftist politicians that are out there with them. But all of a sudden, when Trump says protest, like it's, oh my goodness. Oh. Stop it.
Greg, break this down for us.
Well, I wrote a column about this because you could see this coming a mile away. It's purely politically driven by Alvin Bragg. And I described this
allegedly
as the most cockamamie legal theory I think I've ever heard of. Forget about the fact that this is a 7-year-old case and the statute of limitations appears to have elapsed 2 years ago. But the legal theory is something that is not just novel.
That's something that I didn't think about, too. The statute of limitations allegedly elapsed. I'll have to look into that. I'm not too sure about the legal side of that when it comes to statute of limitations, but that's interesting. Very, very interesting. If it has, how is this still even? It's crazy.
It seems abusive of the legal system. Here it is in a nutshell. Take a business records misdemeanor and try to transform it, to supercharge it into a felony by attaching to it a second crime. Now, what is the second crime? That's the question we don't know. It can only be one of two things: a campaign violation under state law or federal law. Here's the problem. It can't be a campaign violation under state law because it was a federal election.
Yeah.
And it can't really be a campaign violation under U.S. statutory campaign laws because Bragg is a Manhattan DA. Local and state prosecutors can't bring charges on federal crimes, only state crimes. In addition to all of that, there are other problems. Bragg would have to prove that Trump was personally involved in falsifying business records. Second of all, he'd have to prove that Trump understood the incredibly complex and convoluted campaign laws that nobody understands, and that, having known them, he intended to violate them. And then finally, they'd have to get around what's known as the dual purpose doctrine. That is to say, if Trump had a personal reason or even a commercial reason for paying the money to Stormy Daniels, then it is not under the law a campaign contribution, and he didn't violate anything. You know, the department.
I wonder if we have any lawyers or anything watching, anybody that truly knows, that seriously knows the legal system. Let me know in the comment section, is this information 100% correct? Because if it is, it's not sounding too strong of a case, as is. I mean, this is sounding like a long shot, like New York to California long shot. You know what I mean? Like the virtually impossible shot. Just hey, look, guys, look, all leftists, look what I did. I tried, you know, kind of shot. But that's just what it sounds like to me. Y'all let me know in the comment section how you feeling.
Department of Justice spent years looking at it. The Federal Elections Commission looked at it, and they both said the law isn't there and the facts don't support it. You know, in addition, Bragg's predecessor spent years trying to find something related to the Stormy Daniels payment, and in the end walked away saying there is nothing. Wow. So, you know, I think it's a shame that the justice system is being used for politically driven prosecutions. I think Bragg sees himself as, oh, we've got to stop Trump. I'm going to be the savior of the republic. Frankly, given the rampant crime in Manhattan, New Yorkers need saving from Alvin Bragg.
Hey, Greg, let me ask you what Tuesday may look like. Alvin Bragg has driven bail reform in New York City. New York City is a no-cash bail justice system, so I presume that means President Trump, if arrested according to his own Truth Social post, how would his Tuesday unfold?
Well, he'll get bail. You know, he still has Secret Service protection. As I understand it, Bragg's office notified federal officials, the Secret Service, and they, you know, the Secret Service is not going to let go of the president they're protecting, even though he's a former president. And so this will be arranged. He'll probably be fingerprinted, and then he would be released on bail. You know, Alvin Bragg has downgraded serious felonies to misdemeanors in Manhattan. That's his M.O. The day he took office, he signed his manifesto. You know, armed robbery? Nah, it's just a petty misdemeanor.
Greg,
you know,
if what you're saying is true and there isn't a legal basis for this after the arrest, what happens immediately after that? He makes bail. Then what happens as far as Trump proving his innocence, or what's the next step after that?
Well, there would have to be an arraignment in which there's a presentment of the charges against him. He has an opportunity to enter a plea, and then the case begins in earnest. He'll plead not guilty, of course. And I think the first thing his lawyers will do is to challenge the merits, the veracity of the charge against him and the law, just as I've described, that you cannot take a state crime and supercharge it into a felony, a misdemeanor into a felony based on a federal law, if that's how this thing goes down. Now, you know, maybe Bragg is somehow going to, you know, say, oh, it was a violation of state campaign laws, in which case there will still be a motion to dismiss by Trump and his legal team to toss this case out based on the frailty of that argument. So, you know, there'll be a bunch of legal challenges before it ever, you know, gets to trial, if it ever gets to trial, and there will be appeals as well. Now, I was talking to Alan Dershowitz about this, and he said, look, Trump's problem, and Dersh is right, Trump's problem is you've got, a biased New York prosecutor, you probably got a biased jury, and just as you can convince a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich, as Dershowitz said, you could probably convince a New York jury to convict a ham sandwich. And so, Dershowitz said Trump's best course of action will eventually be on appeal.
Can I ask you just the politics behind this? So, as you said, maybe with this jury, they're gonna, he'll come out convicted or whatever. What does that do for his ability to run? Will he look like a victim in this situation come Tuesday? Will that work out for him in some way?
I have a lot to say about this one, but I'll let him finish, and then we'll get into what I have to say about this whole thing.
As it did in Mar-a-Lago, his ratings shot up after that.
Well, there's a legal and a political aspect to it, obviously. I mean, I think, when people begin to digest what Alvin Bragg, the district attorney, has really done here, and they begin to appreciate this for what it is, a political vendetta, an effort to stop Trump from continuing further with his presidential campaign, I think Americans will probably say this is fundamentally unfair, and there'll be a backlash, and that may result in even more support for Donald Trump. However, a conviction would be troublesome. If, he ends up being convicted, as I understand the law, he can't hold public office, including the presidency. I haven't studied that, so I can't say that for sure. I mean, a misdemeanor you probably can. A felony, probably not.
All right. Well, Greg, Jared, thanks for joining us on such short notice with that breaking news. We really appreciate it.
So, as far as that last part goes, I did a quick little search on whether or not, a convicted felon could become president. And as far as I saw, there's nothing preventing, I saw if you hold on, actually, I'm just going to pull it back up. Let's see. If you are okay, so now I don't know if this is 100% correct. If we have any lawyers that are watching, please, let me know in the comment section. Let us all know, okay? But one of the things that I came across is it says yes, unless they were convicted of sedition, seditious conspiracy, treason, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and selling information on national defense. Otherwise, the Constitution allows it. Now, like I said, I don't know if that information is 100% correct, so please do not, take that and run with it, all right? But from my quick little search, which I didn't spend a whole lot of time, like literally, a few minutes, he could still run, right? He could still run. But my thing is, with this whole entire situation, based on everything that I know thus far, which I'm sure I don't know everything, so take that, keep that in mind when I say what it is that I have to say. This is just my personal opinion. I don't have any facts to back this up. All right, so don't come at me with misinformation. Okay, this is just my personal opinion. I don't have any facts to back this up. But from everything that I know, if the information that I have is correct, this is nothing more than a political stunt. Because other folks, including the government itself, have already tried to or already looked into this entire situation and determined, either nothing was there or it wasn't really worth going after because it was so minor. So to have someone after the fact whose predecessor allegedly, the person that had his position before him, allegedly had already looked into it too, but now he wants to go after it like that. That screams, in my humble opinion, I don't have any facts to back this up, right? Haven't talked to the guy. I haven't had any insider. I don't have any insider information or anything like that. I don't. Wish I did. But this screams political stunt. This screams, hey, look, leftists, look what I did. You know the guy that you really hate, that we coached you up to hate? I tried. I actually, I got him. Now, he weaseled his way out, but, hey, I gave him my best shot, guys. Look. That's what that screams to me. Now, like I said, I don't have any facts to back this up. That's just my personal opinion. All right? Just my personal opinion. But then also, one thing that I think about when I look at this case and this whole situation is a saying that goes, when you come for the king, you better not miss. Or something like that. When you come for the king, you better kill him, or something along those lines. It's basically the same thing. When you come for the king, you better not miss. When you come for the king, you better kill him. Now, I'm not calling Trump a king in the literal sense, okay? There's only one king in my humble opinion. But I'm not calling him a king in a literal sense. But he is the leader of the Republican Party, right? By and large, every single poll that we've looked at, Trump, 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 okay? Trump, 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 Trump. Everybody, well, I won't say everybody. Most people, by and large, want Uncle Trump. He is the leader of the Republican Party. So when you come for the king or the leader, you better not miss. And in this situation, I think it is going to be a major miss. And as the gentleman in the video said, this guy over here said, it's not looking too strong of a case. So I think you're going to miss, and you're going to miss badly. And when people find out, he also said this, when people figure out what it is, how dirty of tactics this truly is, that's only going to make him stronger. Because the whole Mar-a-Lago thing went down, and Trump became stronger after that. This whole thing is going to go down, and in my estimation, when it all falls apart, if it all falls apart, he's only going to be stronger, because you don't come for the king if you aren't coming correct. If you're going to go for him, you better take him down, and you better take him down for a very long time. And I don't think this is it, personally. Now, once again, I don't have any facts to back that up. This is just my personal opinion. But that's what it's looking like to me. It's not looking too good for the left in this situation. I think this is only all those middling folks, those people that were kind of teetering on the edge. I think they're definitely hopping on board with Trump after this. But that's just my humble opinion about it. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.